So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the key takeaways and just basically summarizing the rule of thumbs, really, when it comes to the relationship and correlations between inflation, interest rates, bond yields, GDP, and currency value. The key takeaways when we look at inflation and its relationship to interest rates is that high inflation, central banks typically raise interest rates to cool the economy, and low inflation or deflation, they may cut rates to stimulate demand. Again, central banks have a 2% target. If central banks see or forecast that inflation, may overshoot that or undershoot that, that's when that target, that's when they will tend to act. So, um, interest rates are the main tool for controlling inflation. So, interest rates and government bond yields. And so, short term bond yields closely track central bank policy rates. Long term yields reflect expectations of future inflation growth and rate policy. Bond yields rise when inflation expectations increase, rate hikes are expected, government issues more debt, and demand for bonds fall. Because again, bond prices are inversely correlated to bond yields. And inflation and bond yields. So higher inflation, bond yields rise to compensate investors for lower real yield returns. So again, remember, real yield is in bond yields minus inflation. So if inflation is higher than the bond yields, then basically that's negative bond yields. If bond yields are higher than inflation, then that's a positive bond yield. And so lower inflation, yields fall as real returns become more attractive. And for interest rates and currency value, higher interest rates, especially real rates again is um, interest rates minus inflation. So that would lead to a stronger currency due to attracting foreign capital, so carry trades and bond flows. Remember, carry trades are where you borrow a lower yielding currency and put it into a higher yielding currency and make the difference on the two. Confidence in central bank inflation control as well. So lower interest rates will lead to weaker currencies, or typically do, unless offset by global risk sentiment or capital flows. So remember that there are some currencies that will still appreciate even though they have lower interest rates or maybe cutting rates, because they act as a safe haven currency, like the Swiss franc, like the Japanese yen, and the sometimes the US dollar. Number five is GDP growth and inflation in relation to interest rates. So, strong GDP growth often leads to higher inflation, which leads to potential rate hikes. So, weak growth or recession can trigger rate cuts to stimulate activity, but growth without inflation, productivity led, may not provoke rate changes. Just because you see inflation rising or falling doesn't necessarily mean that the central bank will or must act. And it says here, growth without inflation may not provoke rate changes. So they may just basically hold rates, right? And GDP and currency value is strong economic growth can boost the currency if it's accompanied by rising yields, investment flows, and stable inflation. Weak growth leads to weaker currency unless offset by safe haven flows. And currency values and bond yields and higher bond yields attract foreign investors, which boosts the currency or can boost the currency. But if yields rise due to fiscal stress or inflation fear, not growth, currency may weaken. And so, again, just to kind of wrap it up and then, and summarize, is that these are typically the rule of thumb that happens. There are nuances, of course. There are extenuating circumstances, and as I'll repeat, that the exception is not the rule. You may see a situation currently, maybe now or in the future, where the correlations and these correlations may break down a bit. Doesn't mean that that is the rule. It's just the exception. But the next video in the series, and I think the last one is going to be market themes and narratives.